Hello, and welcome to RaTava79's 3.5 World Building Campaign. I am the host, DM RaTava79, here with Triple J Games and a few special guest players. We are on Session 2. If you haven't seen Session 1, it has been cut up into 4 easily digestible parts and waiting for you to view on YouTube. Let me introduce you to the players. First up, we have Jason.
Good evening, everybody. This is DM Jason. I am playing Darwin Waters IV, and I am a soon-to-be bard extraordinaire and distraction maker. And I'm also having fun in this party with my older brother and a halfling. Everybody else too, but I've really talked to the halfling. She's cool. She fit in a bag and has a goat.
All right, next up we have Pam.
My name is Pam. I'm playing Darla, the halfling rogue with the goat. Jack is essential to my everyday life now. He has become a part of me, almost like a third leg, almost like my scapegoat.
Nice. All right, next we have Jeff.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? DM Jeff Ford here. I'm playing Drake Longmire. Once soldier, once militiaman, once cattle farmer, now on the run from the apocalypse that is happening around us. But we do have a chance to win our weight in gold by traveling through the woods. We've met some shady people along the way. We've met some cool people along the way. I wonder where it's going to take us next.
All right, and now we have Greg.
Hello, my name is Greg. I'm playing Dadandric. He is a dwarven cleric of the spinning wheel, and I'm looking forward to playing.
All right, Aaron, tell the people about yourself again.
I'm Aaron. I'm playing the half-orc Kargan, cleric of Hextor.
Last but not least, Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Darwin, the eldest Darwin brother. I can't wait to show you guys how smart I am.
We're going to start this off. They've been traveling for 10 days. There's been earthquakes, volcano eruptions. The land is starting to be covered in smoke and fog, sinkholes. No one really knows what's happening to the other cities yet. But our fortunate band of die-hard adventurers continue west. Where we left off, you were planning to possibly roll the caravan of the Rye-cast, mysterious soldiers and government officials that are moving west as well. I have set up for you. This is basically how you guys camp as you're traveling. The wagons pull off to the side. In the lead, you have Michael and his tried and true best friend. You've been watching them for the past 4 nights, so you know these guys never go anywhere alone. They usually sit up in their front wagons at night. And we'll try to make this work the best that we can, because if you guys try to roll this caravan, there might be combat. And if you decide not to, there might not be. So let's just take it from there. It is the night of the 10th day. Food's been served. It's getting close to bedtime. You got 2 Daryls sitting in the wagon over there. Daryl with an IE and Daryl with the scar. The wife and kid are in the wagon with Bill the farmer, and they're just settling down for the night. The normal 4 footmen that patrol are out and about. 3 horsemen moving back and forth across the caravan. And the 2 main guys sitting up front. This is where you are, and now this is what you know. 2 of the 6 horsemen stay at point while the wagons are moving every day. You've observed this over the last 4 days. The rest rotate. The 8 footmen operate in shifts, with 4 on guard at any given time. They also eat in shifts, so there's always 3 horsemen and 4 footmen moving around the caravan, whether it's day or night. In the 4 days, you've noticed that the 16 investigators are broken up into groups of 4 per cart. 2 carts hold magical/alchemical researchers, while the other 2 house more like bio-researchers, groups focusing on plants and animals. Darwin the Fourth now. Your time spent with the cook, you've realized that they're a specialist in the art of cooking. Like, that is what they research. They have spent most of their life engineering recipes that mix alchemical ingredients with cooking ingredients, allowing to create these meals that when people eat, they feel invigorated or they feel heartier. Potion making through cooking.
Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
The people complained that their assistants had to travel via a different caravan. Every now and then you'll catch a whisper that they hope their children are safe in the travel north. The biggest worry amongst the camp about the waxwoods isn't really the spiders. You hear them brought up a lot, but the spiders are not what people are worried about. Every now and then people mention the mosquitoes, like the size of cats, giant friggin' mosquitoes. Moving trees, apparently that's a big thing. Lots of moving trees in the waxwoods. That's why people get lost. Also, the trees are really close together. So they're kind of worried about the moving trees. They're kind of worried about the flesh-eating lizards and apes and mushrooms. But the one thing that they are most concerned about is that there are multiple tribes of barbaric elves that will they'll capture you, keep you alive, and eat you. Amongst your listenings and scouting and everything during those 4 days, that you find out that there's no real head researcher in this caravan. Every now and then the name Professor Treetles is going to be brought up, but mostly that's in discussion of their journey south. And they're really hoping that Treetle's partner is meeting them in Sap to be the lead on this research expedition. Drake, and you'll probably, during those 4 days, you get the most, time amongst the soldiers and guards. You find out that the horsemen, they stay really tight-lipped. No one wants to talk about anyone, especially to you. They all got sticks up their asses with that fancy armor to match. There's one horseman in particular who always guards at night, who seems really interested in this researcher. She researches alchemical and magical combinations. And the story is she recently lost her husband, and now this one horseman is all eyeing her up and down, and her husband ain't even been dead for a week, and this guy's kind of an asshole, and he's switching shifts and rotations to make sure that he's always positioned by her cart. You also learn that the footmen resent the horsemen. Most of the footmen were high guard, so they're still looking down at you as a militiaman. But they were high guard in House City, and now they're fucking footmen to these Rycast assholes. They feel like they should be seen equally as the Rycast, but the Rycast definitely does look down on everyone. Darla, you've been eyeing what could possibly be a giant payday. The boxes, the one box, that's what you had most of your attention on. And while you're out and about, walking your damn goat, you examine and get a really good sense of what these 2 wagons are all about. And they're not normal wagons. The door and barred windows and boarded windows are actually facades. They're fake. It actually hinges at the bottom of the wagon, and all the walls fold down and the roof splits open in the middle. So it looks like both carts are meant to release something that's inside of them. If you were to try to pick your way into one of those carts, it's going to take you like at least a dozen locks or more, and they all look very expensive. Very complicated. The one wagon that sounds like a bunch of metal clinking around, probably weapons, armors, tools. Most likely armor by the sound of it, because it's a lot of clattering and clanging going on inside of that cart on the left. Whereas the screeching and skittering from the cart on the right, you just hear screeching and skittering, and possibly anywhere from 12 legs or more. That is what everyone knows. Y'all know your own parts of that, and I'm sure you all relay it to each other. Here you are. You just had a big meal. Everyone's starting to wind down. The sky is a haze of red.
So what do you guys think?
I think I don't need anything in that cart enough that I'm willing to do anything. Seen their shock lances. Even if they are a bunch of stuck-up nobles, they're a bunch of stuck-up nobles with really good weaponry. Right now, that's a big advantage on us.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that I want to, like, break my lock picks on all those locks, because they're probably masterwork locks, and I'm not rich enough for the better lock picks yet. And there's lots of skittering.
Junior, what say you?
I'm here for the ride. You see me? I don't want to mess this up. But if this goes sideways, I'm totally down to burn the body so nobody finds them. Just saying.
I think we've learned everything we need to learn. So what do you guys think? Think we should just ride with him all the way to the rest of the way to Sap? Keep an eye on that one footman. Make sure he doesn't, assault that lady at least. I don't know.
Yeah, I say we let them do all the heavy work until we get there. And then if we have to burn bodies, that's going to smell bad. But I don't know why I have beef jerky in my mind. But anyway, they are heat shields.
Totally.
Agreed.
Okay, so everyone's in agreement. You are not going to roll the caravan?
Yes.
I think that's a strategic decision.
All the D's and the K are in agreement?
All right.
I'm good.
Agrees.
You were taking this trail here to Sap. You guys made it pretty much right through this area here along this ridge. You can see the town of Sap in the distance. When on the night of the 11th night, you travel fine during the day. Everyone's still getting along, following the same routine. You've kind of made friends with the investigators. Like, quite frankly, during all this time, one shows up to grab a beer, then two will show up to grab a beer and wander away. But by the end of it, all 16 investigators you have met, they know you by face, you know them by face, and they're at least amicable when they're having conversations with you. Guards and shit just leave you the hell alone and don't want you to bother them. Night of the 11th night, you get to this ridge, you start to go around it. On the other side, you can just see the devastation that the town of Sap has caused. What used to be a giant forest here. And with the earthquakes, some of the land has shifted, so like the trail has a big crack running through it, and it's about 2 inches wide. Everyone feels like the wagons can make it over it. You don't have to worry about it until tomorrow morning, but you can see the lights in the distance, and it almost looks like the town of Sap is on fire. There's so much smoke. There's so many different spots of light out there. You can't tell, is the city burning or are there just that many people?
I'm going to have a lot of fun here. This is going to be fun. It's a lot of people.
Well, it depends if we get there. If they've already done looted, if it's already been burning and this is the chaos of it, still might be a lot of people. Could be just walking into sheer madness.
That's not discouraging me.
No, agreed.
We all go a little crazy sometimes.
We could let a whole bunch of other people loot, get all the good stuff together from the looting, and then just go loot them people. It just seems like quicker, someone out there is going to have picked over some of the good stuff. Just go steal their stuff.
We just gotta see what happens when we get there.
What's the caravan leaders doing? How are they acting in our Darryls? They're following us along.
Darryls are following you along. They are totally on your side. They're kind of country bumpkin guys. The one Darryl is teaching the other Darryl how to use a bow better. Bill the farmer tends to stick with his wife. I know I was calling him Bob a bunch of times, but Bill the farmer, he tends to stick with his wife and their child. They look to you for guidance. They tried to catch up to you. They fought amongst themselves over whether or not they should even bother catching up to you. And so far, they feel like the goblins would have killed all of them had you guys not have been there. So your group has saved their lives. They're basically on your side. Captain Michael, the Rye Protectorate, he doesn't seem concerned about all of the fire and such.
Well, if he's not too worried about it, then I'm assuming that till we get too much closer and I hear screaming, this is normal? I'm not going to freak out if they're not going to freak out.
Hey, Kargan.
Yes?
Will you teach me how to ride my goat?
I can put you on the goat.
You can't teach me how to ride a goat?
You come to my kneecap and you're trying to ride something small. I would crush a goat.
I don't think she means you need to ride the goat. I think she just means, like, show her some tips, like...
I'm illustrating that I have no idea how to ride a goat.
I gotta imagine it's somewhat like riding a horse.
Then I would recommend a saddle, or gripping its hair really tightly, but it might run harder if you grip its hair tightly.
Well, Drake said he was going to get me a saddle made, but I need to learn how to ride.
I can teach you how to ride also.
Will you?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. I'm going to be a goat farmer. I got to get a girl goat. I got to get a Lucinda, and that way when we get to where we're going, we have a goat farm. I have decided what it is that I'm going to do with my life. I thought I would share.
If you're going to have a goat farm, it is very important to know which ones to milk and which ones not to.
Okay, so you spend the evening of the 11th day, Drake showing Darla a few things on how to properly ride a horse and possibly implement that to her goat riding tactics. What is the guard order first, second, and third shifts?
Kargan is second shift.
Who can all see in the dark again? Yeah, you're definitely taking second shift, the dark shift. I think I would take the last shift, just when it's a little bit dark, getting into day.
I'm a human with bad eyesight. You don't want me doing that kind of work.
You kind of sit around the first. You probably would take first watch.
So it used to be Darla and Drake on first, Kargan on second, and then the Water Twins on third.
I'm good with that.
Yep, works for me.
Oh, that was supposed to be a whisper.
/R to reply. Alright, so on the night of the 11th night, as first watch, everyone settles in. Darla and Drake keep their eyes on the wagons. Wind starts blowing real hard. and it starts raining. Just torrential downpour. And you are like slightly sinking in the mud. It's raining so hard. By the time it hits second watch and you're waking Kargan up, you guys are soaked to the bone.
Is it still pouring raining?
Oh yeah.
What I'm going to suggest is that during that first watch, when it starts pouring raining during our watch time, I'm looking for logs and sticks and shit to make sure so we can pull the carts out. When it comes time to wake these guys up, we as a team can pull the carts real quick, and then we can get out of these wet ass clothes and change in some dry ones before we bed down.
I will also roll you a search as well.
Doing the
Since
same
I'm on
thing?
Well, yeah, I'm on first watch with him, right?
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Very good.
Oh, got lucky.
Alright, so like the abundance of lumber that you're going to find stuff is going to be across the trail, if you remember the map that I showed. You head north a little bit, and the two of you, I'm assuming you're going together, because you don't want to get too far apart. You find a decent load, definitely some branches that the wind is starting to knock down that you could put down so it's not so muddy where you guys are pulled off the trail. Both of you roll me a spot check.
Oh, that rain got me fucked up.
Oh yeah. Alright, yeah, you find all the sticks and twigs that you need for your cart.
All right, so then that's what we do during our watch, keeping an eye out. We get the shit prepared. Wake up, Kargan. Hey, big guy. It's shitting out here, pissing rain. We got the stuff to dig the wagons out. It's real muddy now. Think we should go ahead and push them out now? Maybe get up farther on the harder pack. If not, if we gotta take off in the middle of the night, we're gonna be kind of FU.
But it'd be easier to do it piece by piece through the night rather than wait till the morning when it's thoroughly sunk.
Agreed, I like that idea. We already got the stuff to pull our wagons out. Now we just need to kind of work together to go ahead and get them pulled out.
Well, let's get that done then.
Alright.
Alright, both of you roll me handle animals, because you're teaming up with the horses. The Darrells have watch with Kargan, so when you wake him up, you wake them up, and they go and help with things.
Yeah.
Alright, Kargan, you get your wagon onto the trail, no problem whatsoever. Drake, roll me a percentile. You guys have one wagon, and then you have Bill's wagon and the Darrell's wagon.
Oh, so I'm rolling for them guys too. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yep.
4.
Alright, so you were trying to get Bill's wagon out, and yeah, you just sink it in even deeper. The Darrells... Yeah, they get their wagon out, no problem at all.
I had a good idea. I got the stuff to do it. I just couldn't execute it.
Yeah.
Alright.
You showed everyone how to do it, but the horse that you were working with was just unruly because you're not used to working with Bill's horse.
Yep. So I get Bill down there and tell him what to do, how to pull his horse out, and I'll handle the reins. I don't know. We'll give it another shot.
Yeah, it takes you all of the second watch. And the noise that you guys make with the raining, Darwin twins, you wake up at the, halfway through second watch. But all 3 wagons are on the road, are on the trail. They're not sinking anymore. And it's raining like a cow pissing on a flat rock.
But I'm only halfway through the watch.
But it's only halfway through second watch when you guys wake up.
What did you guys do, man? God, he's gonna be so pissy tomorrow. You guys don't even know.
Is that a full 8 hours?
No.
Woke up.
6. So you guys wake up halfway through the watch. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I can roll a Constitution to try and sleep through it.
Okay. Yeah, roll that fortitude if you just want to go right back to sleep. Yeah, you wake up for a second like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And fell right back to sleep. It takes you a little bit longer, but you get right back to sleep. It takes y'all till the end of second watch. So, Darla and Drake, you are exceptionally tired. But it's third watch. Darwin twins wake up for the third watch. It is still just downpouring.
This is going to be a nightmare when we have to, when we're moving. It's going to be rough roads ahead today.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, hey bro, you should lure that one. You should learn today.
You're really quiet there, Junior, or fourth.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you at the end, brother.
I said, brother, you should really memorize Endure elements today. That'd be an awesome thing for you to have today.
Oh, if it was, maybe I can learn it when we get to SAP. Maybe somebody will teach me that. Not one in my book, brother. You already know how that works.
Yeah, I know. I was just making you feel bad. Let's go and watch.
I hope you fall on your face. You break whatever issues you have out. I love you. Sorry. That's mean. I'm mean. I apologize.
So mean.
And third watch goes by without any kind of a hitch. You wait. Everyone starts waking up. You guys watch as the chow wagon gets up first. And everything's raining so hard, they're not even bother trying to get a fire going. They're just passing out cold fruit and nuts for breakfast. Dried meat.
That's how I spent my watch, drawing the mountains behind us.
Nice.
Sorry, I guess I'm just gonna bide my time till I can get back in the cart and not be wet.
Alright, well, you get back in the cart for the day's travel. Kargan and Drake leading the horses as they have been. You're on the trail and you're kind of like watching, waiting for everyone to start moving because their wagons sank pretty much all night. The guards just walked their path. While it's still raining, you notice two of the investigators. And they start going from horse to horse, mumbling some words and touching the horses. And after they get done touching every one of the horses of their 8 wagons, they kind of put hands down and out, and they look to the ground and they say a few words, and they toss some dust, and the mud under the wagons turns to marble. And the horses pull the wagons out of the divots because it's nice and solid and they can get the wagons out without any problems. And they head up onto the trail.
You should learn from them.
Yeah, bro, do the marble thing. Alright, once most of us are back in as much as possible, like to a dry-ish area, I'm gonna go ahead and use prestidigitation to basically dry everybody up.
I'd like to use spellcraft to try to identify that spell.
That I'm using?
No, the marble spell.
Oh.
Darwin Jr., the look of "oh" on your face was fantastic.
Well, I was just gonna go ask him.
Kargan, with your role, you have studied mostly clerical magic. This is arcane magic. But you have heard of spells that will transmute things to stone. This is obviously a variation thereof.
Cool.
Alright, and you travel throughout day 12. It just keeps raining. Their horses are moving perfectly fine. You're starting to lag behind. Okay. So, Darwin, you approach... Who do you approach? Anyone in particular?
The one that we saw do the spell, I would walk up to them.
Okay.
And I'd grab my brother too. Like, hey, we're gonna go talk to this guy and learn this spell. Come on.
Okay, so...
Alright, I'll go talk to him. Let him spell.
You hop out of the wagon and you make your way forward to catch up to them. The guys that actually did the spell are riding in the back of the wagon. Their wagon seems immaculately dry. There's 2 researchers in the coachman's seat leading the horses, and the 2 that did the spell sitting in the back. This wagon is chocked full of books and star charts and like herb identification charts. And they look at you two really confused why you are approaching the back of their wagon.
Hey everybody, what's up? I figured they all knew me. I would have drank with them like most nights. I gave them the beer.
They know you. They know you by face. You know them by face.
You guys have a lot of books in there. I like to read books. What kind of books do you guys have? Can I come look at your books?
And you are? You're with the other one. Yeah. Speaking of which, did you bring any beer?
You got beer?
No, I'll go get some beer.
You got beer?
No, I just asked you to go grab some beer. I'm going to talk to these guys for a minute.
Alright, fine. God damn you. God. I'm supposed to be the older brother.
Alright, so as soon as he goes and gets the beer, I want to explain how he's like a huge fan of them and their magic, and he's like, so he might stumble over his words or talk a little fast like he normally does, but they don't know that he normally does that. I was going to kind of work him up and try and like flatter him and get in some good graces and be like, so if he asks you some questions, just humor him, man. He's he's a big fan of what you do and like, the work and the magic and stuff.
College mages. All of them. They all are big fans of our magic. But I'm sorry, he's not Rydcast. He does not have access to this material.
That doesn't mean you can't show him some stuff. Like, show him you doing things, not show him necessarily how to do anything.
Well, he has eyes, and we don't hide what we can do. We're not like that college.
Really? That's... That college? What college is that college?
The ruins outside of Wheatenrye. The cloister of the underground.
Nah, he's way smarter than those guys. That's why we're not there.
We've had dealings with the college. He was asking around earlier, saying he was from the college.
Well, he used to be from the college.
I suppose. We have a long trail. I'm sure he'll have time to prove himself.
And that's when you get back with the beer, as you hear prove himself.
Speak of the devil, look what he brought. And then I'll hand out a few beers to everybody.
Okay.
I got beer.
So when you reach inside the cart to hand it to them, because they ain't reaching out, your hand actually dries as it enters the cart. Any rain that might have gotten into the mug would just kind of evaporate away.
Thank you. Now, you said brother?
Yeah, we're brothers.
Yeah, this is my older brother. Darwin Waters Jr.
He speaks highly of you, Mr. Waters Jr. Says that you're better than your place of education. Is that true? Do you feel that's true?
No, he always speaks very highly of me. I've taken care of my little brother ever since our other brother has been missing, but, you know, nobody ever notices that. Sorry, I'm sorry.
So you say ever since our other brother went missing, and they kind of look at each other and roll their eyes?
Yes. I'm sure there's somewhere in the cloister. I'm sure he's somewhere in the cloister.
What's the cloister?
You would have heard, like, whispers of the cloister of the underground in the college, but only, like, the headmaster was the one whispering it to somebody else. So you really don't know the true depth of the college that you were at. But you know that they specialized in your kind of magic. They were the only ones around that specialized in your kind of magic. That's why you went there.
And their type of magic is what? Are they like opposite of mine? I don't know. Okay.
No idea. And for your spellcraft roll, Darwin the Fourth, no clue. Junior, you know there are spells that let people endure elements, and you know there are spells that create auras to repel things like arrows. This is some kind of strange combination of the two, maybe?
I would offer to maybe try and teach a spell for a spell for the rest of the trip.
They blatantly laugh in your little peasant face.
Okay. With that note being said, I'm going to grab my beer that was in my hand and pull it back out, and I'm going to go back to my tent with my beer. The rest of the beer. If they didn't get a beer, they're not getting one now. Brother, you can stay here with these fucks. I say this out loud. If you want to. And I'm going to go back and tell Darla that she can't shoot at them because of the magic that's around it. I feel like it wouldn't work. I'm going to tell everybody what I felt around them and how I feel about them and how I feel like maybe they should come up missing. I'm totally okay with burning something now.
I would talk to him and finish my beer.
So he walks away angrily with the beer that he was handing them, and the one guy who didn't get a beer looks at the other dude, and the dude just kind of smiles, and he's like,
He's got spunk. There might be a chance there.
and they finish their beer. Do you ask them any questions? Anything else?
No, small talk, chit chat, bullshit.
The weather shit, they never once invite you inside the wagon to dry off. They chit-chat with you, you finish your beer and head back. You are soaking wet.
Alright, prestidigitation, go dry, go back to bed.
Alright, so you try to get some sleep while traveling along the trail. This was, as if I am correct, the 12th day. It's still raining, it gets to be the 12th night. Alright, Kargan. Second watch. You are sick of standing in this fucking rain. First watch went by perfectly fine, no problems. I'm assuming there's nothing anyone's really doing because it's just a random every night. But it finally stops raining.
Hey.
It clicks in your mind. It started raining, and you feel like it stopped raining almost exactly 24 hours later. It didn't, because it started raining on first watch, but in your mind, you're like, well, wait a minute, did it just rain for 24 hours straight? And you have this, like, right now in your brain, you don't trust the weather, you think somebody is controlling it. Other than that, nothing for second watch, third watch, no hitch, 13th day. 13th day, you guys make great time. It's like the rain finally stopped, the spirits have been rejuvenated, everyone's happy, healthy, feeling good, and you make good time. You will be in SAP by end of day tomorrow. Greg, I know you've sat here for an hour while I tried to catch them up to you. I'm going to take a little bit of time. You got to evolve your character in the story and timeline to catch up to them, and actually made it really, really well. Like, you did a lot better getting to the same point than they did. I'm going to say you are getting into SAP the morning that they arrive there that night. Okay? The night of the 13th day, the watches go by. 14th day, you guys can see SAP in the distance. There's tons of people. It's not on fire. Dadandric. That is the town of SAP. When you arrive there, Greg, the city is the first thing that you run into because you have been moving south along the ridge of trees.
Mm-hmm.
The city itself is basically empty. Everything's been arranged into carriages. As you move south, I made a little mark at the gates outside of the city. And when you go through here, there's hundreds of people. You got dozens of wagons lined up across where that bridge is. That isn't a bridge over a gap. That is a bridge up. This ridge line that separates the town of Sap from the waxwoods is a sheer, straight up and down cliff face. And it goes up a good 30 feet. And you can tell this bridge has been hastily built to evacuate people for this expedition to the left. You pass out the front gate and a woman walks up to you asking your name, or she walks up and she sees all the orcs. And she's like,
Ah, yes, we've been waiting for people from your camp. Is there one who speaks amongst you?
Me,
And you are, sir?
Dandric Thunderclap.
Mr. Thunderclap, if you would kindly take your wagons south of the lumber mill, that is where the alloy cast is gathering. And you and your wagons will be filed into the wagon train heading west when it's time to depart.
Okay, where are we going?
she directs you south. If you can see on the map, there's a really large building with lots of lumber around it, and then just south of that, there's a small, like, lots and lots of tents.
Right.
There's probably 100 peasants over there, and that's where they have all gathered. They have a few wagons amongst them, and you are sent down there to wait with the rest of those people.
I go there.
Alright, so you go there, you spend some time amongst the, what she referred to as the alloy caste.
Which is the dwarven people.
They're not just dwarves, they're peasants. They're farmers, they're sheep herders, there's lumberjacks.
Oh. So I kind of start introducing myself to these people.
Alright, you kind of carouse around.
Yep.
Give me a base charisma. Just as an idea of how you do. Alright.
But I'd try.
Okay. So you carouse. You don't do very well. Your buddy Berg, the orc, he sticks with you. You learn over the 4 days getting to Sap that Berg is actually a half-orc, not a full-blooded orc. He tells you he has a brother somewhere. He was actually captured by the tribe that you live with, and now serves them as one of their barbaric warriors. So you learn more about Burke than you do any of these peasants, really.
Okay.
You get the rest of the group caught up. It is the day, the last day. You're going to be in Sap in about an hour.
I'll make myself look presentable.
I'm just waiting until we get there.
So no one's really doing nothing until you actually get there. You get into the town of Sap. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back.